Welcome back to another episode of the Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week you heard our episode on Brian Eno and Meatloaf, where we discussed Dead Ringer and Here Come the Warm Jets.
Listen, man, when the wolf with the red roses gets his throat offered, you know, it's...
Never decline.
Never decline.
But this week we have a very special episode.
Exactly, because we're going to be reviewing Saint Anger. So Saint Anger was released on June 5th, 2003.
God, I wish. Matt, don't get ahead of yourself. That's season 3.
I had it all written out here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I had a bit.
It's okay. It's probably good that it ended so prematurely.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
But because we have guests here.
That's true. It is a very, very special episode. This week marks past our 1-year anniversary since the Pentatonix episode came out.
Yes.
One of our most controversial, vitriolic episodes. Also the first episode we ever recorded. So we're actually going to kind of take a step back into their discography to give them a second chance.
Exactly.
And what better way to do that than with some friends? So we brought back some of the most iconic guest stars of the Family Album. Please welcome Ben Mascioli, Evan Vandenbrul, and Tom Murphy.
Woohoo!
Hello.
So stoked to be here.
Guys, you can just hear the fucking electricity when you talk about Pentatonix in the room, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, the two albums we'll be discussing this week are Pentatonix Volume 4, The Classics, and the Pentatonix Self-Titled. Past the albums that we initially reviewed, because that was one of the criticisms we got, was that we were sticking too close to their early stuff.
So because their later stuff is just so much more
different, so much more evolved. Yeah. So we're gonna kind of take a dive into that. But before we do that, we should probably start with a little history, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So Matt, why don't you take it away?
Listen, the story of Pentatonix, it's nothing that complicated, right? I think, from what I remember, our story begins in the small village of Strusselheim, located in the faraway land of Texas. There, a young woman by the name of Kristen Maldonado yearned for the adventure and fame, as she was gifted with the most beautiful and ever elusive mezzo-baritone voice range, which, frankly, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, very.
Texas had never heard anything like it, so they glued onto her right away.
Hold on. Ben brings up a good point. I don't believe she was a mezzo baritone, because the vocal ranges was another criticism we got.
That's true.
Oh.
I believe she was actually like a bass.
Mezzo bass. Yeah,
mezzo
exactly.
bass.
How do you pronounce the name again? I wanted to make sure I had it right.
Kirsten, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Kristen.
It's Kristen.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it's
Kristen.
Kristen.
I thought
it was Karsten.
Karsten Daly.
No, that's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Karsten Wentz. Anyway,
Continue.
So rumor has it, her voice transcended the mortal plane and had the great potential to incapacitate any naysayers that denied her potential.
And I think there's actually a true story that during a high school choir, she actually shattered the kneecaps of someone who heckled her in the audience, and he never could walk again. With just her voice, which is pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Take that, Tanya.
Oh, man. But as she would soon learn, with great power comes great responsibility. During a street performance to a group of onlookers, a mysterious cloaked figure emerged and walked right up to the aspiring starlet. He taunted and jeered, insulting her technique and lackluster use of the diaphragm. But what really got to Maldonado was the fact that he called her Maldonatonous.
I mean, that would just rub me the wrong way if I were in her situation.
Straight up disrespect.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
actually really upsets me.
It's a double-edged...
It's a little misogynistic, too. I just don't like that. Continue.
Oh, thank you. Never one to refuse a challenge, she began experimenting with a forbidden technique known as a cappella. But the power was too much for her, and she lost control, paralyzing the entire crowd. Including her mother and father, looks of horror froze upon their faces, realizing she had been tricked. Oh wait, I read that completely wrong. Sorry.
I don't give a shit.
Read that.
Hey, it's
What do you
okay.
mean?
It's okay,
You're
man.
the one coming
Yeah,
up
it's just
with
off the wiki, right?
Oh yeah, that's
he's
right.
reading the textbook
It's
that we
funny.
brought in.
It's funny, like, I studied the tomes, I can picture myself reading them,
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Realizing that she'd been tricked, she looked everywhere for the cloaked figure, but he had vanished, leaving no trace of where he might have gone. With a newfound purpose, Maldonado left Strusselheim to seek redemption. I was gonna say
Is that,
I remembered it as reputation, oddly enough.
My favorite Taylor
is
Swift
that-
album.
Is that a misspelling on the wiki? Because we can edit that.
Yeah.
If you need to get
Yeah,
in,
we're
like-
admins, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, admins of the Pentatonix wiki.
yeah.
Redemption.
Redemption.
We're still working on ours.
Drunk
But
album.
Part of me thinks that's not a mistake.
it might not be.
Yeah, I think
That
it's
could be
redemption.
real.
I think that makes
Redemption.
sense. Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Take it back.
When you've got gumption in your
Oh my god,
I like to
I'm
look
so
at my
sorry.
cutout of Nate Roos when I take a reduction.
I am so sorry, guys. All right. With a newfound purpose, Maldonado left Strusselheim to seek redemption and to harness the power of a cappella with those who are more knowledgeable in the forbidden art.
Yeah, so I think this kind of set the tone for where Pentatonix, I think, wanted to begin, because I believe it all started with Kristen, and no one else.
It always starts with Kristen.
It always starts with Kristen. Karsten.
Yeah.
But along the way, she did meet some friends, and I believe one of our lovely guests actually knows how that started. So, Evan, why don't you take it away?
Yeah. Actually, I'm here to talk about Mitch Grassi. So, founding member of Pentatonix, Mitch Grassi grew up as a peasant that roamed around the ancient land of Arlington. You know those faraway tales of the young man who goes out on the hero's journey and saves the land? Nope, that's not Mitch Grassi at all. Being known for his ungodly nasally voice, this soprano too can take even the catchiest of jigs and turn them into nightmares.
I'm sorry, soprano 2?
Yeah, that sounds a little off to me.
Yeah.
I believe it's a pizzicato soprano is what we're looking for.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you're right. The pizzicato soprano, he could take these jigs and turn them into nightmares. When he was 9 years old, he was actually getting pushed down by this huge knight from the village over yonder.
Dick.
Yeah, I know.
Over yonder, it's a dangerous place.
Get this, though, that knight's name was the famous George Messer, striking down the witches as he tried raiding the towns next to Arlington. He was the true hero of the journey.
Striking down the witches, scaring the hoes. Listen,
Right.
man,
Is he JPEG Mafia?
Art garbage pail kids.
this just proves how derivative art is. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's
See,
great.
a lot of people kind of copy the Pentatonix origin story into like.
It's similar like how a lot of Shakespeare stories can be found in modern cinema.
Yes.
A lot of Pentatonix can be found
A lot
in
of the
all
tropes,
music that's ever come out. There's hints of Pentatonix.
Yeah.
It's just so influential. You can just take bits and pieces from whatever.
Like how Finding Nemo is like an adaptation of Othello.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Actually,
not fucking
but-
true.
But wait, hold on, get this. The best
That's a
part
lie. That's the only lie that has been said so far.
So the best part about Mitch, though, was that while he was being belittled by this knight, Scott Hoying actually comes out of nowhere and drop kicks Messer like a kangaroo, protecting their Joey.
That's how it was described in the text. Yeah.
Literally on the wiki.
He does that move on stage still sometimes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it.
Mitch doesn't like it very much, but the crowd loves it. So.
Yeah, the crowd
Can't
goes
get
nuts.
enough, you know?
So anyway, as Scott kissed the bruises away, Grassi was enlightened and said, "I'm going to start my own musical endeavor and call myself Messer. That'll teach those knights to never put down peasants." Sounded like a good idea. Well, unfortunately, Grassi was paralyzed by Karsten Maldonado.
Karsten Maldonado.
Yeah.
Yeah, before he can even make an impact. As the classic historical figure, Juetti Herrenmeister said, "Don't be Messer, you'll just be messy." Eventually, he would...
Words we all live by.
I think about that quote every day.
Yeah, I do too.
I think like the high school that we all went to collectively, that was like our
Yeah.
that was like our
I went to
Master
a,
Academy, yeah.
I went to a, you guys might forgot, I went to a different high school, but it was also our slogan.
yeah.
It was two.
Wasn't it like incorporated in your alma mater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I gave the valedictorian speech that year, and I just went up and said
that
that.
quote, and they all cheered.
You
Yeah,
weren't
it
the
was-
valedictorian, but you gave the
was-
speech.
Well, the valedictorian gave a shitty speech, so I had to.
step in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like Pentatonix would do.
Exactly.
I mean, look, all that matters is that Juetti Herrenmeister said that, and
Words to live by.
Exactly. Eventually, he would learn Karsten's mystical powers and teach himself to harness the a cappella voice of the gods. This led to a formation so devious across the villages that triumphed the knights of the land known as Texas. Crazy story.
I know, and considering that was just with like three people.
Yeah,
and they were
that
able to do that. But that was before they even had all five in the Pentatonix.
I wonder how they work out like the whole knee shattering thing, because that's like a dangerous thing to work with.
I think
right?
it's a bit
Yeah.
of like a forbidden art, but desperate times call for desperate measures.
That's fair.
Especially when someone calls you moldenotonous. I think that kind of.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as Redemption.
Yeah,
That's true.
No, for real. Who would ever say that?
That's disgusting. But Evan, you did mention Scott Hoying, and I think that
did.
segues into our next little adverb. So
I believe
take it
that's
away,
me.
Tom. Yeah.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up, Evan. Ben.
It's hard to tell them.
Proverb.
Honestly, it's hard to tell them apart.
No, for real.
we're basically
really
the same
is.
person.
It's a real problem because I have like a beef with one of them, and I keep yelling at the wrong one. I keep getting upset,
Yeah.
but it's
It's fine.
Our love of Pentatonix.
There's no beef with
brings us
Pentatonix,
together.
so
It's true.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not. No.
Scott, a name derived from his native land, and Hoying, a surname indicating his family's unusual trade. Pentatonix couldn't have asked for a more suited vocal percussionist than Scott. Luckily, Scott would have been ill-suited in any other profession. The practice is largely extinct outside of those who continue its legacy with beat boxing. But Hoying is the act of mimicking a drum at extreme levels.
And there's no one who could do it better.
No.
No one, absolutely no one.
Always been Scott Hoyer.
Since the dawn of time.
Well, that's why it's his family name. His family invented it,
right.
Yeah.
and they get
Yeah.
stronger with each generation.
Yeah.
To be good at Hoying is to transform your tongue and teeth into a percussive weapon, to send abrasive, pounding waves across hills and countrysides. This skill had two applications in medieval warfare. Firstly, it announced the arrival of the army, and secondly, it kept the soldiers in step before and during combat. For reasons we do not fully understand, the Scots did not use traditional drums for this act, even though the instrument did exist. Most experts point to the fact that hides that would be allocated for drums tended to be used for clothing. Did I miss something there?
Wait,
It's okay.
I thought
It's
this was off the
yeah.
dome, though.
Well, I'm reading. I'm getting
We're
notes
taking
off
from
the wiki article.
Yeah,
I see, I
There
see,
might be
yeah.
some errors in there.
It was an interview that I typed up.
Shit, I'll fix
Yeah.
that later on the wiki.
all right, cool.
Fellas, who's up Hoying their Scott right now? Am I right?
Guys, question of the week.
She's Scott on my hoy to legging.
No.
Did that upset you?
Yeah.
Good.
You got one. You got one, Tom.
I also fucking hate this guy. So
I mean, who doesn't?
The fans.
That's true. The
That's
fans,
true.
and the Pentatonix fans also love Tom.
Maybe actually.
Because you've been such like an active member in the community since like day one.
I've been on the Reddit since the episode.
Yeah.
I was in the comments outraged.
And
I don't know if
honestly,
you
we
saw.
thank you for the criticism because we wouldn't be doing this without
We
it.
actually, I don't
No,
know if
for
you
real.
went and saw. We got a recent comment on that from someone who asked for my opinion, and I did respond. So if you want my response, it is in the comment section of that video.
Okay, well, hold on. Now we got to pause. What was the question? And what was
The
your
question
answer?
was, what is my opinion of Pentatonix? And the greatest band of all time is
Right.
obviously what
Yeah.
I wrote.
Okay,
That's
got
the
it.
only answer.
I think Carson's could be very
But
pleased
feel
with that.
free to go
Yeah.
look for it. It is there. I swear there is a comment from me replying to someone that I made yesterday.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, where was I? Most experts point to the fact that that's the sentence I couldn't read earlier.
No, please take your time.
It's just
Sounds like we have a show to do.
sorry. This wiki is really confusing.
Tech man.
That one sentence just really fucked my brain.
Here, do you want some help? I can look through the
No,
tomes to see.
it's fine. It's fine. I'll take the stone tablets and I will interpret them to the best of my ability.
How do they etch this
I have them
much
in
into
braille
there?
if that might help too.
It might. We'll see. Okay. Although, let's just take this sentence back from the beginning. Okay, as God intended.
We got time.
There's always time to talk about Pentatonix.
Most experts point to the fact that hides that would be allocated for drums tended to be used for clothing. Oh, I think I just got it. It just clicked.
There you go. Okay, cool.
It only took like 4 fucking dollars.
Although that gets into the whole kilt debacle, which isn't very useful for this story. And we don't... That's not important.
Yeah, we're not touching that controversy.
No,
see,
absolutely not.
we don't
In
need
the
any
4
more.
years between the First and Second Scottish Wars for Independence, the Hoyings were SOL. What does SOL mean? Does anyone know what that is? It's shit out of luck. Shit out of luck.
Shit out of luck.
Okay. You know, that makes sense.
Sung out loud,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, actually, when you break it down and you attach the word to the letters, it does make sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, all right, got it.
A family trained to do nothing but replicate snare hits with their mouth didn't
yeah.
find much luck in other fields. Here's a brief summary of the Hoyings' other endeavors. Their blacksmith shop exploded. Their bakery blew away in the wind one day, and their tannery was so repulsive that it caused the first known vegan movement in Europe.
And they never recovered.
Never.
Never.
To this day, it's still an issue. There's also the persistent rumor that it was Morrison Hoying who shepherded sheep near a cliff, and that his vocal stylings were the catalyst for 499 sheep falling to their rocky depths.
Wow.
Now, we actually have a bit of a reference for
Yeah.
this one, so I'm just going to
It
read
sounds
a little
so
more.
outlandish,
Yeah,
but like
it's
this
down at
is
the bottom.
true.
Yeah.
The one sheep that did survive the fall colloquially known as Lucy the Lucky after the incident, became a national legend and is commemorated by a holiday and a statue placed at the foot of said cliff.
Yeah, Lucy Day that we all
Lucy
celebrate.
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. You should visit.
You know what's wild? I never knew that was the reason why we celebrate Lucy Day.
Yeah, it got kind of bogged down. It became more like just a reason to like
It kind of corporatized. It's kind of like how
bit of-
Christmas. We got to keep the
Yeah,
Lucy
exactly.
and Lucy Day. You
It was
know,
a bit of like a paganistic influence, kind of like
Yeah.
with Christmas,
Once
like you
Pepsi
mentioned.
got
Exactly.
involved,
Yeah.
they really made it like corporate.
I just
mean-
want to say, guys, let's just keep the luck in Lucy.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah, it
I
gets
agree.
me excited
Well, like-
for August 10th every year. I must
Same.
say.
It is my favorite day of the year. I'm so excited.
Lucy Day,
We
baby.
should maybe
the
do a
only thing
family
I-
album
Oh, yeah.
trip to Scotland to
I think
celebrate.
Lucy Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the only thing I look forward to in August, I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Agreed.
There's really nothing going on.
My dad's birthday? No, absolutely not.
If you go to New York, they celebrate it in Little Scotland as well.
okay,
like
cool.
the little
That makes
town.
sense.
Yeah, there's like a whole festival.
So
It's
that's
awesome.
Just if we can't afford to go all the way to Scotland.
between
Yeah, with the
like,
money that you
8th and
guys are
9th.
making, I think we
Oh,
should.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think actually
It is
Scott,
really little. It is
went
truly
there.
a block.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, with all this failure and lack of war, all 57 living of the Hoying clan had ample time to pass their knowledge on to Scott. One by one, he memorized each relative's take on Hoying, practicing with monk-like devotion until he had a range of percussive styles comparable to a drum machine, which is also AJ's nickname. Fun fact.
Yeah,
he is
that's
our
true.
little drum machine.
I'm
true.
actually not a human. I'm all AI. So I'm an
Yeah.
actual drum machine.
Actually, you're not real.
None
you're
of this
not
is
human.
real.
Drake falling asleep. Sorry, I was just trying to use his
In my
Generative
my
abilities.
AI art feature.
Bing hit Bandit, so AJAI.
I'm the only thing left.
Welcome.
AJI.
How Scott Hoying, born 1314, ended up in Arlington, Texas, is a matter of intense historical debate, which we actually have another reference for this.
Yes.
So I just wanted to jump down to that real quick.
Yeah.
Theories include Stonehenge, using his vocal ability to cross the Atlantic, manifestation, taking a lot of psilocybin mushrooms, and aliens. So these are a bunch of rumors. Do you guys have a specific rumor that like sticks out to you?
I
you
think
is
the
most
aliens actually kind of resonates with me the most.
The psilocybin thing, like,
That just could apply to anyone.
Yeah.
okay, but fair. The fact that, and I'm looking at the same page as you, the author decided to emphasize a lot. I mean,
That's true. I mean,
I think that shows his bias, at least.
Absolutely.
it could be a combination of all of them too.
I feel like the psilocybin epidemic in the acapella industry has been like a raging issue for a little while.
And I'm glad that the Pentatonix have been like, really like speaking on that and trying to crack down on it.
Yeah, no.
Personally,
it's great.
I'm a strong believer in manifestation, and I think Pentatonix knew they needed someone who can hoying, you know what I mean, who can hoy with all of their
With all their-
hoynacy,
yeah,
you know?
Their basses, their pizzicato sopranos.
Yeah,
Yeah, really hold that down.
They needed it, and
You gotta hoy it
I
down,
think
you know?
it,
Yeah, hold it down.
one morning he just woke up and was there because he
just
where he was
spawned
meant
in.
to be. You know, he-
Yeah. Honestly, it's like the whole story's irrelevant.
Well, actually,
because he just,
I think going back to manifestation, that might make sense in terms of Mitch's story because he was
Right.
the knight in shining armor that saved him.
You're right.
Right,
Yeah,
that's a
you're
good
right.
point.
That
Yeah.
does track,
It's
I think.
almost like them getting together was fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
And it-
Especially when he dropped kick that night. That was wild.
That was
Some
I mean,
that
all the
night was
psilocybin
being an
really
asshole.
gives you a lot of strength.
Yeah, I'm really
for
glad that you still see that happen today. You
well,
know?
on the fate thing, I mean, from the most famous Scottish movie ever made, and I will quote, "If you had the chance to change your fate, would you?"
Dude, Braveheart is awesome. I love that movie.
That actually is based on he is Scottish, so that is based on his real life story.
He was the
That-
Highlander.
No, yeah.
That's true.
And Disney's Brave. Yeah. All of the above.
and Braveheart, and
Shrek.
yeah.
I guess,
Yeah. Our
I believe,
Scottish icons.
Fat bastard from Austin Powers
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
He's a family member.
That is just degenerative. You do not bring up.
It's
That's a
just-
sore spot on their culture.
Listen, I just feel like it's important to talk about the sore spots.
Tom triggered Ben.
You know, that's what I
What
do
else
best.
is new?
Yeah, who could have guessed?
I've got one last sentence here, and it's not even really about the story, but it's just something that I think all of us truly believe, which is that no matter the method, the result upon arrival was an automatic spot in Pentatonix.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
how could they not?
Exactly.
No, really.
Yeah, because you don't want to be messer. It'll just be messy.
You see, it still
Exactly.
applies.
Isaiah 76, you know?
yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, Evan.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, we got two more members of the history before we can start hopping into the albums. So we got Avi and we got Kevin, and we got Kevin. So Ben, do you want to take Kevin? Because Avi's history is a bit of a lengthy spot.
It is a long one.
He's the most documented member, from what I hear.
He's the one
very-
that kind of ties everything together.
Yeah.
I would say so. yeah.
Counterpoint, and we all know this already. Kevin's does chronologically.
That
take
is
place.
true.
Yeah, it takes
That's
place,
true.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like John with the Gospels. They all kind of intersect with one another. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like we're not really sure chronologically where it is.
Where
'cause
they
they kind of bob and weave.
Yeah, it's an ebb and flow.
I don't know why I keep referencing the Bible. This is more true than
Well,
the Bible.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We have
exactly.
proof of this.
Exactly.
And tablets.
Yeah, we do have the literal stone tablets that I'm putting on the desk right now.
Should we
Yeah.
return those to the museum? Do you think?
No,
Or-
no,
Nah,
we have them
they
on
don't need to
loan.
know.
All right. All right.
They know
Did you
what-
see the recent Indiana Jones? No one cares about artifacts. You
Yeah.
can just push them over.
You're right,
Exactly.
You're right.
That's totally what he would have done.
Yes.
It's true. I remember that. I will say about Kevin, it's a lot harder because there are no records. Because
Yeah, he has the-
it's very much taking his word for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
tells
has the most
story
kind of
himself.
vague, one-sided approach to it.
We had to specifically seek him out and do an interview to get that story.
Yeah, we did like a whole little ritual.
Yeah.
He was very, very nice, very gracious.
Yeah,
So
incredible.
Kevin, shout out if you're listening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get into Avi then.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
All
For
right.
clarity.
No, please take your time, AJ.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I want to give the story as much justice as I possibly can.
Just
Your
try to get
favorite
through it
band.
as fast as you can, though. We
I'll
are
try my
short on
best. There's a
time.
lot of detail.
I think you missed that, AJ. You said justice, and I said your favorite.
Oh, Ben, that was really good. I'll explain that in a different episode.
I think we have time.
But it's not related to Pentatonix, so I want to
True.
keep that
You're
kind of
right.
away.
We should not.
Yeah.
We
That's
should
true.
not dictate.
This
any
is
time to
the
anything
Pentatonix
other.
episode.
We should give a shout out to the live studio audience. Though,
Yeah,
by
guys,
the way.
thank you so much for coming out today. We really appreciate it. We really thank you for giving us like the second chance to redeem ourselves from that first episode. So
Yeah.
we're hoping you're enjoying so far.
I know I am.
Oh, that's all that matters to me.
Arguably the best day of my life, other than August.
Other
10th.
than
August 10th, the Lucy Day.
Lucy Day.
Yeah, the day we all know and love.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, the story of Avi Kaplan is one held in the mouths of many pirates and woodland creatures. In this tale, he becomes known as the greatest pirate that ever lived. He grew up in the
Where did he grow up, AJ?
Yeah,
I
wait,
didn't quite
where?
catch that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry, I just got so excited and flustered because I just love telling the story.
It is very like emotional. I get that.
Folks at home, you can't see this right now, but AJ
He's actually
has
crying.
tears.
I have
streaming
failed
down
to
his
hold
face.
back my tears.
It's just like it's like a snotty
God,
cry.
you're
He's,
crying.
like,
You're
really
crying harder than Bailey Zimmerman on Religiously.
I know.
AJ.
Call me
Crazy.
Bailey Zimmerman because
Totally.
I'd be weeping.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, he grew up in the poverty-stricken ruins of Khazgagdoon. His
AJ, it's okay. You can let it out.
I'm sorry, I'm just so choked up. His father worked tirelessly in the mines, mining for the one and only thing that mattered in this land, and that's talent. Talent would be the only thing that could rid the lands of ruin and strife and clear the proverbial cloud of Andesundengenti. Copernicus Kaplan. Evan, please.
Was that, I'm sorry, this is beautiful. Was that pronounced correct? I just want to make sure. Do we have like
That's
a?
Latin, right? Oh my
How did
God,
we make
it's
sure?
crazy.
Do we? How did we make sure that Latin?
I think it's Latin for like. I'm just spitballing here. I think like talentless.
That's correct.
Matt did take Latin through.
Yeah.
Like in his
Since age
sixth
one,
grade.
since age one, actually.
Age 1, yeah.
Yeah.
What I always say about Matt, his Latin isn't lack and
He's Latin,
Ben,
not
that was
Lat
really
out.
cool,
Am I
bro.
right?
That was actually the collective high school that we all went to. That was the second motto that we used to all say. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself.
we had an awful education.
Pentatonix High. Copernicus Kaplan was mining to hopefully save his family from the ruthless taxes of the king. I must find a boy who can dance, wheezed the poor fucking bastard. Suddenly, as he swung his pickaxe in the stones of the mines, a flash of light spilled through the cracks and the rocks began to animate themselves.
That's beautiful.
The gods of immortal terror, a slight myriad of wonder, and contralto range. I don't think that's correct. I think there's a typo.
Yeah, it's got to be baritone.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
enough
baritone.
about music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And baritone range. The light began to die down, and as the glow faded, the silhouetted figure of a boy fell out of the stones. The animated rocks, once playful helpers, now writhed in agony, their forms contorting like figures sculpted from the fires of Gehenna.
This is beautiful.
I know. I didn't write this.
Whoever wrote this, like, oh my goodness.
I think they had to be there to witness
This
this.
has to be like a first year,
Like,
writing
first person
student. you
yeah.
know what I mean?
First man.
Because
This person took at
year
least
one
one creative
started-
writing course.
From what
Michael
I-
Cera.
From what I remember of like the ruins of Kazagoon is that I don't think that
Wow,
they were
you
very.
said that fluently.
They weren't.
He does speak Latin. He's been.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
he also doesn't have like tears holding him back.
Yeah.
I've read this many times. But the thing is, from what I understand, the cherry waters, I think they enjoyed them so much that they became illiterate.
It's actually what kind of boosted their power, with their strength. It had such like soothing, healing properties whenever they drank it that it just bolstered their strength of their
This
voice.
sounds familiar to me. It sounds almost like the classic Beowulf. Is there any chance Beowulf is based on this story?
I mean, like you said, all things tie back to Pentatonix.
Art is derivative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Anyway, the air itself thrummed, a chaotic symphony conducted by his ragged breaths. A voice smooth as oiled silk, yet laced with malice, slithered into his mind. Embrace the gift, young one, it purred, and the seas will tremble at your command. His vision blurred, the once familiar tunnels of the mind morphing into an endless vista of churning waves and storm-wrecked ships. A monstrous figure, its form a grotesque tapestry of kraken and serpent, rose from the depths, its single glowing eye locking with Avi's. A terrifying truth slammed into him. The light hadn't awakened talent, it had unleashed a slumbering horror, and Avi was its unwilling conduit. But before the darkness could fully consume him, a frail hand grasped his shoulder. It was Copernicus. His
Holy shit! Like the actual.
Is
that
Copernicus
Oh my
Kaplan,
God.
yeah.
More of
his
an
father.
Archimedes man by himself.
I understand. Tomato, tomato.
Did he find a wonder boy who can sing in every range?
I
No,
did.
but he did find Indiana
He did
Jones.
find Indiana Jones.
And he knocked
the
over
next best
the. He
thing.
knocked over the artifact.
Anyway, it was Copernicus. His face etched with a mixture of terror and unwavering love. Avi, he rasped, the name a whispered prayer. Avi, the light, it has cursed you. But hear me, son. You are stronger than this darkness. Fight it. The old man's voice, though weak, held the conviction of a prophet reciting sacred writ. His words, a flickering candle in the encroaching shadows, offered Avi a sliver of hope, a spark to ignite the fight against the monstrous power surging within. Avi, torn between the monstrous power and his father's love, let out a primal scream, the sound unlike anything ever heard before. It shattered the mind walls and propelled him upwards in a geyser of rock and light.
I gotta say, everybody's voices are like shattering, like solid matter.
Yeah, that's just what happens when you're in the Pentatonix, man.
They break
Well,
the
Scots
space-time
may
continuum.
have, according to some theories,
Yeah.
moved the waters.
So maybe like each member has like control of a certain element.
With their voice.
With their voice?
It's also important to know, as the commenters said in the original video, they have talent beyond any will ever have.
That's also
right,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what they meant. The
So-
magical abilities, their voice.
And also
voices
that
have.
there are rangers in their own rights. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Anyway,
This is the
Anyway.
best erotica I've ever heard.
Yeah, I've been rock hard this entire time.
it's hard not to be.
I've laughed, I've cried, I've come.
That's how you know.
That's
I've hit
my
every
favorite
range of the
Latin
spectrum.
phrase.
That's actually
Yeah.
the third motto of the high school that we all went to.
I laughed, I cried,
I calmed.
Yeah.
The school board got fired after that one.
Yeah,
wasn't their best
bit of a
one.
scandal, but you know, it's
That
part
was
of our
my
history.
that was my running slogan when I was trying to run for
So,
valedictorian.
yeah. It didn't
and they,
work
they
out so
kept
well.
telling me, you don't run for this.
You
You, have
can't
to earn
say
it. It's your
this."
grades. And I was like, shut up.
He said, Tom, you can't put the cum in isopersicum.
They were like, Tom, did you come in the school? What's wrong with you?
Oh, wow. Someone took Latin. That's so cool.
Sorry, guys, just the years and years of it being on my shoulders. I just had to, you know.
Hey, I understand.
We appreciate the knowledge that you brought.
Yeah, you just want to be like Abby. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Anyway, he emerged into a world bathed in unnatural twilight. Before him stood a motley crew of woodland creatures brandishing makeshift weapons. A squirrel with a sharpened acorn, a badger with a comically oversized... A squirrel with a sharpened acorn,
Yeah. And what?
and a badger with a comedically oversized spoon.
Yeah. Okay.
These characters
No, that sounds
totally
right.
appear again, I think, in the text later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the second one, right? Prince
Yeah.
Caspian?
Yeah.
Yeah, 42-12.
That's good.
All bracing themselves for the arrival of a prophesized musical pirate savior. Avi, his hair crackling with energy and eyes blazing with an inner conflict, stares at them, unsure whether to laugh or cry. The legend of Avi Kaplan, the pirate with a curse, and a chorus of woodland warriors has just begun. We're not done yet, though.
No.
Boy, we're not.
I will,
This is the first.
I will say it should be
Yes.
evident to anyone listening that the creators of One Piece really took inspiration
Yes.
from this story.
It's true.
This is kind of summarized like the first 4 arcs of the show, I believe.
His name
Well,
is Avi.
you know, it's before they get to what is it? The Grand Line.
The Cell Saga. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's right.
The
That's
Cell
right.
Saga.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, rest in peace, Toriyama.
That's Naruto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Cell Saga is One Piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Common misconception.
Naruto's a tenor, right?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
yeah.
I would say.
Sasuke's a bottom, but we all knew that. Anyway.
Let's not get into Masato.
For years, Avi had trained under a powerful sorcerer whose name was lost in the ancient texts. He is only
Wait, but
known.
we're like reading the ancient. How are they lost in the ancient texts?
Well,
They were found.
these are on loan.
Okay.
So we only have a specific kind of grasp of the history. We don't have the entire picture.
That's a very interesting thing the author didn't take in consideration when he
Yeah.
was.
I know it's a little strange.
You also have to keep in mind, Avi is still around, so we were able to get like what he's willing to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
and
know
we piece
what?
things
That's true.
together. There's definitely some authors like interpretation. There's many interpretations, and you take whatever
What
shows
resonates
up
with you,
frequently is likely true. You know what I mean?
I will say Avi's also kind of like a Mary Sue. I don't want to like really get into that, but that's just the vibe I'm kind of getting.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of mean for a real person and their real history.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit less monotonous, if you ask me.
That's
Yeah,
true.
absolutely.
He is only known as a sorcerer who kind of looked like Jared Leto. Turned out to be the powerful sorcerer of music and mastery. Here was this hulking ogre with a surprising grasp of bluegrass banjo picking and a booming baritone that could shatter goblets. Their training sessions were a cacophony of lute trills, blood-curdling shrieks, and the sorcerer, because seriously, the resemblance was uncanny, explaining the finer points of three-finger picking while perched precariously on Avi's shoulder.
I gotta say, like, the fact that they were able to prophesize the coming of Jared Leto.
The
was-
coming.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all
It's
he's known
Morbin
for.
time. Am I right, fellows?
Oh, well, hold your horses, Tom.
Is there references? Are there further references?
I
to
think it's
Jared
derived
Leto?
from the sacred
Derived from
text.
the text, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Holy shit!
Despite the unorthodox methods, Avi discovered a glimmer of control over his dark gift. He learned to channel the chaotic energy into powerful bass-thumping sea shanties. These weren't your average sea shanties, though. When Avi belted out a tune, the waves would part, forming a watery highway for his ramshackle raft, and sea monsters would cower at the sheer sonic force. Thus began Avi Kaplan's unlikely journey as a pirate, a terror of the high seas, a beacon of confusion for sea shanty enthusiasts, and a constant source of amusement for the sorcerer, who cackled from the crow's nest clutching a miniature air banjo. However, the sorcerer's tutelage wasn't all fun and games. Their lessons took place deep within the caverns of Wyvern's Cradle, a legendary underground city rumored to be carved by forgotten giants. Wyvern's Cradle wasn't on any. Guys, stop laughing. This is serious. We're getting to like the dark part.
I'm actually crying.
It just reminds me of all of my favorite books, and I honestly was making me tear up, and I was just laughing at myself. It
I
was more of a
understand.
shameful kind of a. I'm sorry.
I've been there.
You know when you're so surprised that you can't help but like kind of smile and laugh?
Yeah, that
it's,
is
so
it's
happy
a natural
hearing the
reaction. It feels
story.
like the first time I've ever read this, you know?
It always does. Wyvern's Cradle wasn't on any map, hidden beneath the thundering waterfalls and ancient forests of Eldritch Mitten, a fantastical version of Michigan's Mitten shape. Fun fact. The very
One might say,
One
yeah.
might
Is that
say.
where the shape of Michigan was derived from?
Yeah.
This story, like this, not I shouldn't say story. This history.
I believe like the 13 colonies are all bullshit, and Michigan was the first colony founded, and they built America around it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Wyverns, fuck.
Do they? I mean,
yeah,
that's,
you
that's,
know, brother.
that's how we get new wyverns.
Yeah. Okay.
Also,
How else do you think they carved out the city? It wasn't just.
Yeah, they needed some way to relieve some tension.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to intrude, but I do think it's wyvern.
I believe it's up to interpretation.
That's true.
As most things in the Pentatonix community are.
No, that's a good. Whoa, no, it's not up in Matt. Sorry, AJ.
Whoa, that was
I got.
disrespectful.
You both look so similar to me. I just can't.
Wait,
Jesus,
Guys,
man.
this is conversation for after the recording.
guys, pause. I think we need to have an intervention with Tom.
And we'll do that after the
Damn.
show because we need to get through this
This will be
history
my
because
last
it's so
episode.
important.
It's so
Tom will
important.
discuss later. Right now I'm hurt, but I have something to do, so we're gonna keep going.
I'm so sorry.
Shut
I'm
the
so
fuck
sorry
up.
to you, and I'm so sorry
Shut
to
the fuck
fans.
up.
He's gonna back pocket it, and we'll get back to it later.
Exactly. Thank you, Evan. The very stones pulsed with an ancient magic that amplified the sorcerer's eccentric teachings and accelerated Avi's progress. Wyvern's Cradle, with its labyrinthian tunnels echoing with the sorcerer's booming voice and Avi's booming voice, became a crucible where the fate of the seas and possibly the world was being unknowingly shaped. I beeth the Morbin time, the sorcerer boomed, a crazed grin splitting his face. The air crackled with anticipation as Avi, his heart pounding a heavy rhythm against his ribs, prepared to unleash his newfound power upon the unsuspecting seas. Finally, as his voyage was nearing his destination that he had searched for in his heart and in the cockles of his lowly shins, he came across a land filled with 4 towers, each depicting a different, conveniently placed voice part, all with mouth noises emerging from each. It was then he took a deep breath and said, Rosebud was his sled. And that's when he joined the band.
That's wild how we can get so much information on Avi, but then you'd look at someone like Mitch and we got like nothing.
I
compared
think
to him. That's crazy.
it might have been just around the time frame where they were more documentarians around.
I also think Mitch is a bitch, but
Hey, whoa. He's sacred, okay? Oh, are we gonna have to have a
all
talk
of
with
them
you?
are.
As all of them are. Thank you, Ben.
Listen, even the worst member of Pentatonix is better than all of us will ever be.
Exactly.
That's true. That's
Get
true.
up through your
I'm sorry.
thick fucking skull.
I think I'm just jealous.
This guy thought I needed an intervention.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you both need to have a chat.
I think
I gotta say, I feel like the author genuinely took a lot of creative liberties. I mean, do you think any of this was divine inspiration?
I mean, it could have
Or,
been,
like-
but this is in like textbooks, so
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where you're getting creative liberty. That is what happened.
Well,
That
it is kind of weird in textbooks. Sorry to interrupt, but like this story will be there, and then to the right of it will just be that picture of the white bear. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the white pharaoh. The history textbook that thinks pharaohs
Yes.
were white people. Yeah.
yes, that is correct.
I'm just wondering, like in the biopic, how they're gonna reenact this.
well, I think
He'll be a white pharaoh probably.
Played by Jared Leto.
yes.
Not the guy who looked exactly like Jared Leto.
No,
well, similar, not
that was
exactly.
Jareth Leto, the ancient sorcerer's name. Yes.
yeah.
But we have one more member we need to get through. So Ben,
Oh boy.
take it away. Bring us home with Kevin.
The year was 4000. The intergalactic time war had begun brewing for nearly a millennia, and a young
Kevin Olusala.
had just enlisted on the side of the rebels, hoping to be the hero who defeat and erase the radical
What is it?
communists.
They
Oh,
were they're a huge threat.
I think that's
In parentheses, it does clarify space communists. You know, guys, I'm starting to think that the information we're getting here.
Not possible. Not possible.
These are the tomes.
Yeah, they wouldn't lie. We wouldn't lie
slaps.
either.
the author of this is a very close friend of mine, and he
And also really handsome and a good writer.
All right. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. All right. He enlisted in the Space Force as an intergalactic fighter pilot, where he met and flew alongside his co-pilot and wingman, Clancy Rhodes, more well known by his call sign, of course, Crossroads.
Yes.
They became infamous for their incredible dogfighting skills.
They got that dog in them, you know, even all the way back then.
we
you know?
should clarify dogfighting.
You did this to me on purpose.
So, I don't know what you're talking about. The person that wrote this was you. And second of all,
Also, no, the person that wrote this was the Pentatonic historians.
Well,
okay.
fucking
are we?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Well, whatever. What I was saying.
This is a real
just
redemption,
in
am I
case
right,
anyone,
guys?
I don't want anyone to think that this is like dog fighting, like actually making dogs fight each other.
No,
you know
that's
what I-
like the-
this
it's
is
like
air-
yeah, it's like
air
air
stuff, yeah.
Like
plane,
World War
except-
II
But
dog
let me read
fights.
this full
Yeah,
sentence. They became infamous for their incredible dogfighting skills, carving through the enemy forces.
And this all happened.
It's a rough translation. Remember, this has been translated.
butter
from Latin,
and
yeah.
rising the ranks at a pace never before seen. This does sound like they're using dogs to fight. I don't know.
You see, there's a bit of a rough translation when
I'm
you
sorry,
go
this
from
is
Latin.
really upsetting.
It's a
to
rough
me.
translation because they're dogs, guys. You know, it's crazy.
No. It's space combat. It's fighter pilots.
Yes,
space
I think
combat.
that's what the author was trying to portray.
Yeah, it was-
but when you translate from Latin to English to back to Latin to dog to English, there's a bit of a miscommunication there. But that's how you get like the most true raw form of history.
Sorry,
we
guys,
did
I'm
get
crying
the
a little.
original. We did get the original cut of this in Latin, and Matt
Yeah,
did
the
have to
director's cut.
translate it for us.
It took me hours. I tried my best. Okay?
Yeah.
yeah.
God, this is the worst erotica.
Go back to
Speak for
Abby.
hey, speak for yourself.
I'm gonna move on. So things seemed good. They were heroes, hundreds of completed missions under their belt, and
Obviously.
barely a scratch on the hull of their F-Series fighter craft. I'm more of a fan of the Y-Series, but you know.
Yeah,
You can't be winners
Yeah.
all the time.
The F series required more pilot skill than the Y series. Like the Y series kind of did a lot. They had autopilot.
I think they were
functions.
based off the ancient wyverns, which is why they were
Yes,
so popular.
yes.
Yeah,
The
and they were
F-series-
safer for sure.
The
Yeah.
F series is also a little bit complicated because it's kind of like a stick shift, you know.
yeah,
like,
that's also true.
In fighter jet, like spacecraft,
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Dogfighting, yeah.
dogfighting warfare, it gets complicated. You know, there's no air. You can't really
Exactly.
shift
It's
the
just
stick.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
it's
true.
just filled with dogs.
That is true. The space dogs.
Skills.
We try not to talk too much about the space dogs. That history is very
Guys,
sad.
I'm getting so emotional.
but
I'm
Ben,
sorry.
gotta continue.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that was until Operation Ice Giant, where their squadron was sent to recapture the outpost on the
Yeah,
10th
I heard about
planet.
this.
Yeah.
It's like their Watergate kind of
Yeah, it's the 10th planet in the Penta
system.
The Penta system. Yeah.
The Pentaton
Yeah.
system. Yeah.
Yes.
This ice planet is generally known as Pentatonix.
Yeah, Pentaton. Yeah, because it's the 10th. The
Right,
X,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a Roman
yeah,
numeral.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But sadly,
Ben,
this
you got a lot of
mission-
sass right now. You just got to read what the.
It's because I'm here. I think it's
Yeah.
my fault.
Yeah.
I've tried to give as much distance as possible, and it's
I know,
not
but
enough.
let bygones be bygones.
They're in separate rooms, and it's still not enough.
Sadly, this mission would go awry. Crossroads he would lose his life in battle. Kevin barely escaped. It was at this moment when he realized fighting was not how you win the war.
Wait, what's Kevin's last name?
Oh, it is.
It's Kevin.
Olusala.
There it is.
Oh, okay, got
Hope
it.
that
Yeah,
cleared
yeah,
that
Is that
up.
pronounced
Yeah.
properly? I think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
In Siri, I trust.
That wasn't
I-
Siri. That was
our-
Ben.
That was the
Yeah.
secret sixth member of
Yeah.
the podcast.
That's just how
Nate
it
Bruce.
sounds.
What?
Yeah, okay.
How do we?
He hasn't attacked
I think
in weeks.
That's true. I think we
We
just
don't
we just
need-
play it safe.
We don't need to summon him.
he has too much respect for Pentatonix.
I think he
Yeah.
does too.
As a stunning vocalist as himself.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, a part of me gets really excited when I hear Neighbors' name because I just want to see him for once.
I know, he's really young.
I
He's
don't believe how young.
Did you hear
that? Oh my god, I was fucking scared.
Was that the vents or?
Tom, if we die, you have to know that I do truly hate you.
Yeah, well, the feeling's mutual, pal.
And we're back. A little worse for wear, but we're back.
Just like Clancy Rhodes, Matt is gone.
Yeah.
Yes, we did lose a member, just like Pentatonix, unfortunately. But
like them, we
Yeah.
must continue.
exactly.
Where was I? But Kevin, in his beat-up, barely functioning spaceship, flew into a wormhole where he was flung back in time to the year 2008, where he would discover his natural gift of beatbox and alto voice. That doesn't sound correct to me.
Alto.
Yeah, alto sounds like
It sounds a little incorrect.
Sounds, yeah, I think it's gotta be
I'm pretty
I
sure.
believe it's
I'm pretty sure that is his specialty.
I think
but he
it's-
does a full range.
I think it's
He can
tenor
do-
once removed is what we're looking for.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that
Are you
sounds
sure?
about
yeah,
right.
I think yeah.
Are you sure it's not like bass 3 removed?
Esquire. Yeah.
Esquire.
There we
Quite
go.
frankly, I think all of that.
I mean, they're just so talented. They can
From what
they can do
they
it
can
all.
do anything.
From what I've
Yeah.
heard, all of them can participate in the
Wait,
entire
yo,
vocal
did
range.
I just hear Matt?
Oh shit!
Jesus.
Wait, yo, you're back, bro.
Back from the goo.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. He slimed me.
Oh, again. Not
That's
again.
hot. I mean, shit, that's awful, dude.
I know we're reading the erotica, but just we need to calm down.
Exactly.
It's gross.
Well, we're
Looks like Matt's
welcome
not
back.
the only one covered in goo. This
Speaking of
erotica.
slime,
Yeah, you're
come
just in
see
time.
Ghosbusters Frozen Empire in theaters.
This episode is sponsored, in fact,
Sponsored by the new film
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
starring
Proud
Finn
partner of
Wolfhard and
Pentatonix.
Paul Rudd. Go see it out today. You know who to call.
I'm pretty sure Pentatonix is doing the Ghostbusters theme song for the movie.
They are.
It
I
will
heard
be
that's a
better than
rumor.
Fallout Boy.
Yep.
yeah.
Exactly.
Whoa. Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean,
Sorry.
that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it.
But bring us home, Ben.
All right.
another 3 pages.
Okay, so Kevin found a group of fellow singers forming in Arlington where he joined them to form a band who would spread the joy of Christmas so widely that tragedy, strife, and war would dissipate in the distant future, and he would coin the name Pentatonix as a reminder to himself of the tragedy that launched him to change not only the world, but the universe.
Wow.
That was
Goodness.
beautiful.
I literally have tears in my eyes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a hero. Honestly,
awesome.
that goes for all of them.
Yeah.
I think there's one more member.
yeah, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left the group. What was that?
So after Avi left in 2017,
Yeah.
Matt just
Are you
joined.
sure it wasn't
Yeah.
like 2012?
No, it's 2017.
It's 20. Okay.
Yeah.
This was once they were this was after Pentatonix, the album, like they had started.
This is after right after Volume 4, I believe.
Yeah.
So after Avi left, Matt joined. And yeah, it's pretty simple.
It's just he just joined and yeah.
And they're still together now.
Yeah.
What a
Cool.
great story he has, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best.
Oh, for
It
sure.
changed my life.
He came
Yeah.
back to life mid-episode. Oh, we're talking about.
No, we're talking about
I
Matt,
can never
the
be
Pentatonix
Matt. I
guy.
can never be Mr.
No.
Mr. Matt.
But guys,
I got
that was the history of Pentatonix. Great job reciting all around. I think we each
Yeah.
did justice for all their tales.
I would say so.
Now, are you going to need to put anything in the description, like corrections of any kind, or?
If we come across, but I think we're pretty
think we were
good.
pretty
Most,
Yeah,
most of the
yeah.
tomes were infallible, so I would.
yeah.
I
Other
would-
than maybe a few Latin
like
miscommunications,
mistranslations.
but even that,
yeah.
like it's still
I think we're
correct.
good, yeah.
Pretty
Well,
minor.
I think in the past couple months or so, putting something on the internet where there's a chance that you might not have cited a source, or at worst blatantly committed plagiarism. That's a huge issue now. And because of that, we've collectively decided not to put any sources, so no
exactly.
we
one can
cited
even try.
Fact
two
check
sources.
this.
We cited
Yeah, actually, as a
exactly
matter
two
of fact,
sources.
there were two.
No,
Yeah.
but we're gonna blank them out. They're not gonna be in the comments. We
Yeah,
can't.
so we know what they are.
Well, yeah, we added the sources to the video.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not going to be in the
Oh,
comments.
yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
even better than not putting it in
Yeah.
the description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we all learned a lot. Number one being is don't be messer, you'll just be messy.
Exactly.
Another one being,
Words to live by.
Another one being, we laughed, we cried, we cummed. That this is
Words to
all
also live by.
that we
came, we
I've
saw,
laughed
we kicked
and
its
I've
ass,
cried.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
got a little work to do,
This
though.
is all 100% factual. We didn't just go and make up stories beforehand and then have each other
No,
pick.
that would be absurd.
Different paragraphs to read because we were trying to do a bit. Never
That would
did
be
that.
That'd be
wild.
so
That was
disrespectful.
so dumb. Yeah, that would be so stupid.
Could
I'd
you
be
even
so mad at
imagine?
us.
And like one person came in with one way longer than
Than
the other
everyone
four.
else. It's like
that would be
so
crazy.
stupid.
The audacity of anybody to do that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Especially how poorly written it was. Yeah, that
and then,
was upsetting.
And then the last thing is Lucy Day is the best day.
Yeah.
August 10th.
We'll see you
August
guys
10th.
on August 10th. We're going to do a live show in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Little Scotland,
Or Little
depending on the
Scotland.
budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
that's
Little
fair.
Caesars.
But before we close this
should get
episode, we got to talk about the albums.
Oh shit, that's right. I
yeah,
forgot we were
yeah.
trying
I
to
forgot to
re-listen.
listen to him.
So, Pentatonix Volume 4 and self-titled, pretty much the same as the first two.
yeah.
You know, good in small doses, but a full-on album is pretty obnoxious.
Mix it in with some some other tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of different varieties.
Definitely, it sounds more evolved and more professional than their previous recordings, but if you don't like the bass concept, you're not going to like these.
So should we just give our scores?
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's go around the table. Tom, what do you give the Pentatonix
I wanted to
albums?
say one quick thing. I saw them in concert also, and I will say the album was better because I could walk away from the album.
Yeah.
The concert, I was kind of like stuck there for a longer period of time.
But you got to witness Scott
Hoy.
Jump kick, Mitch.
Well, that
Mitch,
was
yeah.
cool, but it's just like after 10, you know what I mean? You start
Yeah.
to like, I need a little break.
Yeah.
That being said, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ben?
There was a record store I frequented where in the new arrivals section they had Pentatonix, the self-titled,
Yeah.
there for what off the top of my head I have to think was like 5 months. It might still be there. So yeah, with that being said, like 8 out of 10, it's a pretty good album. I'm glad they, moved into their original stylings.
Yeah. Evan?
In the darkness and the complexities of my life, I can 100% say that I think these albums were there for me, and
you wouldn't be here today if not.
I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Thank you for sharing that, man. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Sorry. I'm actually about to start crying. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's
guys.
okay. We all did.
Yeah. And I just would like to say, I still am only gonna give it like a 4 out of 10. Oh.
I understand.
Well, it made you cry, but it didn't get you to laugh or come, and that's
It's
Yeah.
just the erotica wasn't fully fleshed out.
But I was.
Oh,
I was stretched out, ready to go.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
let's
That
start
brought
talking
it
about
to-
piss to make AJ even more.
Oh, yeah. When I get to edit this one, too.
Nirvana? Was it Nirvana episode?
Well, Matt, what did you think of these albums?
G.K. Chesterton one time said, I believe it was, fairy tales, they aren't there to tell us that there are dragons, but that dragons can be killed.
If you could imagine them, what would they do?
I don't know. Wasn't that a neat quote? Anyway, I would say it's like a 6 out of 10, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely not. I did not have such a holistic experience as Evan did, but I will say that a part of me was enlightened. You know,
Yeah. Totally.
For sure.
You know,
Chew 5 gum.
Chew 5 gum.
Did you give a number?
Yes, 6 out of
I didn't
10.
hear it. I'm so sorry. I was so caught up in the beautiful quote.
Yeah. It's hard. There's a lot of beauty in the Pentatonix
I was
story.
hard.
And who was that quote by again?
G.K. Chesterton.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, should I know him from anything? I haven't actually heard that name.
No, not really.
Beautiful.
He's very similar to
Indian.
what's his name?
Jareth Leto.
Yeah.
Pinchon. I think
Oh,
it's-
Thomas Pynchon.
Yeah, that.
Oh, he's
one might
like,
say,
dude, my favorite.
one might say that they have like a Venn diagram. They kind of intersect. You
Yeah,
know what
with
I mean?
Pentatonix in the middle. Yeah.
I know how much. I forget which guest it was. They really have like a fondness.
It was
for them.
Evan. Evan
Oh,
loves
you're
Thomas
right.
Pynchon.
You're right. You see. It's the
thought it was
pentatonic.
Ben.
It's the pentatonic
No,
forces
it
at
was
work.
Evan.
Exactly.
I could not tell their voices apart.
I know, because
Honestly.
we're basically the same person.
It's guys, let's just clear the air. Ben and Evan are one person, just putting on a different mask whenever they talk. They don't need to, but they just choose to do it.
Yeah.
With that being said, C tier for both albums.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't give a tier.
I didn't give a tier.
It doesn't
either.
fucking
It doesn't
matter.
deserve one.
D
P.
plus,
P for
maybe.
pentatonics.
P tier.
Okay,
P
P
tier.
Well, that'll
AJ's
do it.
favorite.
Yes, my favorite. I love the P tier. Anyway, that'll do it for this week's episode of the Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
And I'm Evan Vandenbrul.
And I'm Ben Mascioli.
And I'm Thomas Murphy.
We hope we did Pentatonix justice this week, and happy April Fools. See you next week.
Peace.
Bye-bye.